What's good, guys? It's Rey-Jay back with another video, and this one I want to talk about what's going on with the overall market and break down some very important levels. I'm also going to break down what's happening with the charts for SPY, Tesla, Nvda, the QQQ, and a couple of tickers out there. But before I break into all this information, before I get into any more details, let me just mention a couple of things. I'm personally not a financial planner, so take none of this as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out the Webull link, which is down below and in the description. If you sign up for Webull, the link down below, and deposit any amount of money into the account, you are guaranteed up to 12 free stocks. The offer ends very soon, in just about 9 days, so check it out before they run out. Anyways, let's break down what's going on with the market. So SPY is dropping as of right now. It's down about 0.29%. And it's currently trying to test this 20 EMA on the 4-hour time frame. It's acting as one of its supports and hasn't really broken and held below that for quite some time. So looking at the charts on the 4-hour, we're looking a little bit more bearish on SPY. We're still starting to slowly downtrend as it's starting to weaken. But we're not going to see a bigger drop until we break below the support at 449. So that's going to be our very, very key support for today. And for resistance, we have resistance just at about, or like the really heavy resistance around 451. That's what stops SPY today. So overall, looking a little bit more bearish, but we're going to be watching the 20 EMA as support on SPY, still looking weaker. Now, to my surprise, and this is something I didn't really expect, and that is Tesla's breaking out. The 4 hour is about to get a bullish cross on the PPO. It's trying to curl as of right now. And this was not what I was expecting. I thought Tesla would try to get a small rebound, maybe test 250, maybe go a little higher than that, but then we might see a rejection, see Tesla start sinking because we had some bearish signals from Friday. However, instead, Tesla is starting to pump off the Chinese numbers and it's continuing to go. But part of this was manipulation because there's a lot of shorting going on in the market makers decided to pump Tesla even higher and try to invalidate some of these sell signals. Now, when it came to the market, if you look at the market, SPY got this little like pump as soon as we opened and started dumping and still looking a little bit weak. If you look at Aapl is not necessarily weak, but it's not strong either. If you look at it, we gapped down on Aapl. Aapl dropped pretty hard in the pre-market, tried to push up during the open hours. Now it's starting to reject just a little bit, and it is red technically. So Aapl is like in the middle. It's been trying to break the 190 resistance, but it hasn't been able to do so far. So Aapl is fighting this resistance, not extremely strong, not super weak either, kind of in the middle. But if you look at other stocks out there like the QQQ, it's also pretty flat. It basically gapped down, tried to push up just a little bit, but now it's very, very flat. It's only up like 0.1% or something like that. Nothing too big. Nvda as well, this thing kind of like did what I was predicting, hitting 485, then rejecting off that. And now we could see this start to downtrend just a bit if it breaks below our 200 EMA at 482 and eventually come down to 475. So I do think that there could be more downside for Nvda, but we have to break and hold below the 30 minutes 200 EMA. The 4-hour is still looking a little bit more bearish for Nvda, so we could see this thing eventually test the 50 EMA too. For now, it's kind of like chopping around, but there could be some downside coming, so watch it carefully, but it's very choppy nonetheless. But if you look at Coinbase, it's down, Alibaba down, SPX is down, the Nasdaq is down, right? Most stocks out there are actually quite red. Even Amazon's down 1%. Meta is testing 300. We were talking about this potential rebound. It's about this 295 area before rejection. Instead, it's going up to about 300, so a little bit stronger, but it's approaching resistance right here in the 300 to 301 area. So most stocks did do something similar to what I was predicting, except for Tesla. Tesla is just very resilient after the numbers that came out, and it's continuing to show some strength as it's trying to like make a full recovery after the very, very bearish move it made on Friday. So as far as Tesla goes, we're going to be watching this resistance right here. 257 is going to be the very, very key resistance. If that breaks, I would not rule out the possibility of this 258.75 area, and 261 are all possibilities. However, it's getting very, very tight because this imbalance right here is going to be our resistance, getting very close to 257. That could be where Tesla tries to hold. But when you look at the smaller time frames, the 30-minute is still looking bullish on Tesla, so it's still holding up very, very nicely, still looking very, very strong. And once again, this was very, very contrary to what the market is doing. Tesla is just very resilient and is trying to hold up, looking very, very strong. So watch resistance at 257. That's going to be very key for Tesla. If that breaks, there's 258 and 260. As of right now, it's losing some momentum as it's hitting some very, very tight resistance, but it's not necessarily dead. It's not necessarily turning around. It still is holding up, still looking a little bit more bullish for the time being. Now, if the whole market does start to sink, I think Apple's going to play a big role in that. We're going to have to see if Apple gets that downside, because for now, Apple's holding up and is trying to fill this gap in the 190 area. So there's a chance Apple might try to fill that gap, then reject. So this could help push the market up a little bit higher. And we're just going to have to wait and see what happens from there. There is still a chance that it could hit that gap, fill, and then the market could start to turn. It could be a little bit more delayed because of Apple. And for now, the best thing to do is just to be as patient as possible. As far as Tesla goes, if Apple does not start sinking, the market doesn't start sinking hard, Tesla could still try to hold above these current supports. On the daily, it held our 50 EMA. But we're going to have to wait and see how it reacts to resistance as well, and what happens to Apple. That's going to be very key for Tesla. All right, so for now, as of right now, at the time I'm recording this, Tesla's looking a little bit more bullish. It's outperforming many people's expectations, including mine. That was very incredible to witness for Tesla investors. And this is all part of the market makers, their little tricks. When they try to turn people bearish, they pump the market right back up. Anyways, so it's holding up nicely. It's going to chop around this area for the time being as we're getting hit with some tight resistance. But just watch your levels carefully and just look at how the market's moving. SPY and other stocks out there are looking a little weak, but Tesla's looking strong. Apple is currently sitting at this like very, very choppy looking level. So watch these levels and do what you have to do, guys. I'll see you guys very soon for the final video of the day. Tesla is the outperformer of the day nonetheless. All right. So with that said, I just wanted to say that the market is holding up very, very nicely. Oh, and one last thing I forgot to mention is I didn't actually talk about the deliveries. So their deliveries rose 9.3% year over year in August. That's why Tesla was up. So watch the levels and do whatever's best for you. The last thing I wanted to mention is that when you're trading in a market like this, don't forget to utilize stop losses. I mean, sometimes unexpected things can happen. And if that were to be the case, then sometimes, you have to take losses, and that's just a part of trading. When that happens, there's nothing you could really do about it. But the best thing to do is look back when you're losing money and look at any mistakes that you have made, right? I can make mistakes too. Everyone makes mistakes in trading, no matter how experienced you are. And the best thing to do is reflect and grow no matter what, and to be optimistic no matter how hard things get. Okay, so hopefully this video was helpful for people out there. The market could be, once again, irrational longer than we could be insolvent. So it does not care about our emotions. It doesn't care how rich you are. It will do what it wants to do, and it will do whatever it can to try to screw over as many people as possible. All right. So anyways, I'm going to be posting another video in just about a couple of hours. And I just want to let you guys know that just follow the trend and look at your 30 minutes time frames. That's going to show you the way. The 30 minutes is working very well. I've been looking at it. So watch that carefully, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you. Market to the moon, because the long term is very bright, and peace out.